Good afternoon, fellow guardians of Catholic protection. I'm making this video exclusively for the learners of Catholic protection. I want to share what happened to me. I'm taking some potential measurements. The cable is at ground level. I'm taking my reading. I see I'm measuring my on and off potential. But later, when I place it at a certain point, I finish taking my measurements. I do my AC voltage measurement. I see it's above 10 volts, up to 17.2 volts, 6 volts. It seems strange because I'm next to a PCR. But no matter, regardless of finishing my measurements, at a certain moment, I disconnect the multimeter leads. I was getting ready to pack my equipment, but I dropped the stick and it ended up in this position. The stick remained in contact with the cable. I had already packed my equipment. I was about to pack my equipment. I had already removed my protective gloves, and when I went to grab my stick, not realizing it was in contact, I got a shock. I thought it was strange. This was an accident. And especially with the presence of voltage above 10 volts. However, the voltages aren't dangerous for us. What's dangerous for us is the current. But as I said, the incident that happened, I took off my gloves because I'd finished my measurements. I was going to pack my equipment. And when I got shocked, they had already taken my protective gloves. And what happened to the ground when I got shocked? That worried me a lot and made me want to find out what happened, because the PCR wasn't keeping me safe. So when I went to the PCR, which is this one here, I came to the site. I was surprised to find out someone had left it deactivated. For the love of Christ, these devices cannot be deactivated once they have been installed, once they have been implanted. You should never disconnect a PCR, and disconnecting it requires an electrical protocol. We have to ground the pipe to prevent any electrical discharge from being transferred to us. So of course right now it's set to off. And when I check with my ammeter, I see it's at 0 amps. It's not transferring currents to the ground. When I turn it back on, which now is set to on, oh well, now I see it's at 5,800 milliamps. Sorry, 5.7 amps. And in milliamps, that would be 5,800 milliamps, 5,800 or 5,700. This is what can kill us. This is a complete accident, sir. And that's why I'm dedicating this video to the trainees, because these are the safety measures we have to take, folks. I repeat, the safety measures weren't properly followed. I have my dielectric boots, I have my glove, and still I knelt down like this, and when I went to grab the pole, I got shocked. Because someone thought it was a good idea to deactivate this device. You should never deactivate a PCR without the customer's or the pipeline owner's authorization. They are the only ones who can deactivate it. And that's because they must establish a protocol, a risk matrix, an operational risk analysis, a work permit, even a permit, depending on whether it's in the classified area where it's located. It also requires proximity tests, hot work permits. This is a hot work permit. It requires a hot work permit. Understood? With nothing more to add, gentlemen, protect your life. These devices, the PCRs that come with this casing, we usually tighten this screw.
succession.
It prevents it from opening, but it also has a safety system. I found it without a safety system. I have a lock from the custodian. I'm going to put this lock on because these devices should not have free access for anyone to manipulate. No one should be handling these devices without authorization. And to prevent that, now I'm going to put its lock on. This is the customers, so that no one is operating this device and deactivating it. Because someone thought it was the right thing to do. But it's a matter of knowledge, simply knowledge. We should leave the PCRs with safety systems installed so that no one operates them and no unauthorized changes are made. Regards, gentlemen. Have a very good afternoon.